might not be Earth's mightiest heroes, but these costumed vigilantes are certainly giving it their all. Hello, and welcome to PixelBay. Today we explore 10 comic book characters that are just plain weird. Number 10. The Red Bee. Richard Raleigh, otherwise known as the Red Bee, was a character introduced in the golden age of comic books. Armed only with his patented Stinger gun and a small army of bees, the character goes up against gangsters and Nazis as befitting the time, but is ultimately quickly forgotten along with his bees and hideous red and yellow costume. The moniker is eventually passed on to his great-great-grandniece, Jenna Raleigh, this time armed with a mechanical bee suit and 2 giant bee robots. Yes, you heard that right. Bee robots. Both Red Bees have unfortunately not been seen in any of the recent titles, with the ever-popular Blue Beetle seemingly having taken the limelight. Number 9. Ulysses Archer. Have you ever wondered what Batman would be like as a trucker? No? Me neither. But when Ulysses Archer's parents were killed in a tragic accident and he was run off the road by his own brother, Ulysses vowed to bring his brother to justice. Aided only by a metal plate in his head and a college degree in engineering, Ulysses outfits his truck with all manners of gadgets and weapons and eventually finds himself in space, engaging his brother in an interstellar drag race, which eventually ends when Ulysses sends his brother careening into the moon. Since then, Ulysses has driven souls out of hell and even teamed up with the infamous Merc with the Mouth Deadpool. Number 8. Almighty Dollar. Next up on our list is J. Pennington Pennypacker, a young ginger-haired lad who, when exposed to a machine that gives ordinary humans superpowers, gains the uncanny ability to shoot pennies. Yes, pennies. From his wrists. Now, you might be thinking that's a pretty good superpower. Imagine all the money you'd have. But let's do some quick math. 100 pennies makes $1, and the US Treasury states that each penny is 25 grams. So let's say you want to deposit $1,000 at your local bank. We're talking 250 kilograms in pennies, and most banks usually have a limit on how much currency they'll take in pennies anyway. I suppose the one upside is that you'd always be able to play the old seaside coin pusher games for free, effectively giving you all the keychains and troll dolls you could ever ask for. As you might imagine, the almighty dollar did not stick around for very long, and after a single appearance in NFL Super Pro issue 10, he was never seen or heard from again. Number 7. Gin Genie. We've all had one too many to drink and found ourselves losing our balance, but have you ever been so drunk you've caused the earth to shake around you? No? Well then, you probably aren't like Rebecca Parker, aka Gin Genie. Genie is a mutant, gifted with the ability to induce seismic tremors, but only while drunk. Now, this wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for her abusive personality. Genie is just as likely to target her own teammates with her alcohol-induced abilities as she is her foes. Not much else is ever really revealed about Gin Genie, as she, along with most of the then members of the X-Force, are killed while on a mission to save a boy band from terrorists. Seriously? You can't make this stuff up. If anything, this is a PSA to drink responsibly. Number 6. Bouncing Boy. Bouncing into the pages of Action Comics issue 276, Chuck Tane, aka Bouncing Boy, was born in the 31st century and was a long-time fan of his century's incarnation of the Justice League. Originally just a normal human, after eating a super plastic formula he mistook for soda, Chuck gained the ability to inflate his body at will, becoming nigh invulnerable in the process. While his abilities might seem pretty useless, Bouncing Boy actually uses them to great effect, having saved the lives of his fellow Legionnaires on several occasions. Although no longer considered a frontline Legionnaire, Bouncing Boy has married Luonu Durgo, aka Triplicate Girl, and moved on to recruiting new members for the Legion. However, In the latest incarnation of the Legion after Infinite Crisis, Chuck was nowhere to be seen, having seemingly been wiped from reality. Will we see Bouncing Boy pop up in the DC proper once more? Only time will tell. Number 5. Matter Eater Lad. Joining Bouncing Boy in the Legion of Superheroes lineup of strange and weird characters, we have Tenzil Kem, better known as Matter Eater Lad. Now, as you can probably guess from the name, Tenzil's ability is pretty self-explanatory. Born to a race of aliens who evolved the ability to eat anything. You may be wondering how such a power would be useful in the field of superheroics. Well, you're not alone. The writers for the Legion comics often had to write Matter Eater Lad out of the comics due to his uselessness in a fight. The character has proved useful on 1 or 2 occasions, proving to be capable of devouring previously indestructible doomsday weapons. Since his inception into the Legion, Matter Eater Lad has had various revisions to his origin and personality to make him more of a humorous character to match his power set. His last noted appearance was in the Legion of Superheroes cartoon, where he made several cameo appearances. One thing's for certain though, wherever crime appears, Matter Eater Lad will be there to take a bite out of it. Number 4. Leather Boy. One of the more risque characters on our list, Leather Boy appeared for the first time within the pages of the Great Lakes Avengers comic books. A seemingly normal human with no superpowers, Leather Boy responded to a classified ad looking for new Avengers, mistaking it for that of an S&M fetish group. This leather-clad hooligan was asked to leave shortly after it was discovered that he was just a man with certain needs. He did reappear years later to kill the then partner of Squirrel Girl, Monkey Joe, who was in fact a squirrel. However, even after being captured, Leather Boy returned again to kill Squirrel Girl's new partner, Tippy Toe, who's also a squirrel. But thankfully he was stopped, coincidentally, by our old pal Deadpool. He seems to get around, huh? Number 3. Dog Welder. Now, you may be thinking, there's no way this is what it sounds like, right? Surely, there's no possible way there's a comic book character that welds dogs to people. Well, unfortunately for us, you are so horribly wrong. The first dog welder, yes, the first, was a member of Section 8, a mishmash of vagrants, drunks and bizarre vigilantes. His true identity never revealed. This first iteration was vaporized and killed by a group of interdimensional demons known as the Many-Angled Ones. After the former's death, a new dog welder appears. This new dog welder was a simple family man with a good job. However, one day, while in an antique store, he became possessed by the original dog welder's welding equipment, transferring the first's canine bonding compulsion onto him. Subsequently losing his family and finding himself in Gotham City, Dog Welder teams up with Section 8 after travelling to Egypt and learning that he and the previous Dog Welder were but the latest in a long line of individuals cursed by the Egyptian god Anubis. Yes, I'm not making this up. Soon after learning about his hidden potential, Dog Welder learns that 2 stars are about to collide, destroying Earth in the process. Realising that it's his destiny to weld the 2 stars together, because why not, Dog Welder and Section 8 team up with the Hellblazer himself, John Constantine, to head into space, allowing Dog Welder to sacrifice himself to save the world and end the curse of the Dog Welder forever. Though he may have been a dog-welding psychopath, Dog Welder died a hero. Number 2. Arm Fall Off Boy. It's somewhat fitting that our number 2 on this list is another member from the Legion of Superheroes. Well, I say member. Arm Fall Off Boy's abilities were so bad that he was, in fact, denied membership to the Legion. Yes, the same superhero organisation that accepted Matter Eater Lad and Bouncing Boy somehow did not see the value in a man with the ability to detach his limbs at will after he literally fell apart in his tryout for the Legion. Arm Fall Off Boy only appears a handful of times during the Legion's run, but is ultimately forgotten after the DC Comics event 0 Hour wipes the Legion from existence. Perhaps we'll see him and his particular brand of justice one day, but that day is not today. Number 1. Danny the Street. So, here we are. We've made our way through bee-wielding vigilantes, dizzy damsels and bouncing boys. Here we find ourselves on the corner of a street. Danny the Street, to be specific. First appearing in issue 35 of the Doom Patrol comics, Danny is a sentient street. A long-serving home for the occult, the strange and the dispossessed, Danny is a superhero with several impressive powers. First and foremost, Danny can teleport, sending himself to any other street or city. Not only can he do this, but he can seemingly blend himself into the landscape with little effort. The other buildings and roads simply make room for him. Danny has taken a variety of other forms over the years, including a brick, an alleyway, an island, and even an entire world. However, his most recent form is that of an ambulance, albeit one retaining all of his previous powers. Danny has had a few memorable team-ups over the years, working with the Doom Patrol, the Teen Titans, and most recently, the Justice League of America. Should you ever find yourself walking down an unfamiliar street on the way to work, there's a good chance you could have wandered into Danny the Street. Well, that was our picks of weird superheroes. Did we miss any? If we did, leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that bell icon to be notified of the next time we upload.